we're back for an all-new episode of Keep It. I'm Ira Madison III.
I'm Louis Fertel.
I'm Aida Osman.
And guys, do you know what I just heard?
What?
I talked to a dentist. I won't say which one. Many are reputable. I don't want to dishonor the profession.
Call them out. Drop the addy.
I was like, I'm interested in getting my teeth bleached. They're like, did you know that Crest White Strip's basically the same thing? Anyway, now this is like an advertisement for Crest, but I was shaken by that. Those shouldn't be the same thing. Bleaching sounds so much more scientific, like, test tubes are involved, but not the case.
I have always been personally confused about teeth whitening versus teeth bleaching, because, is there a process where you can just go into the dentist and boom, your teeth are whiter, or are people's teeth so white because they have veneers, which I refuse to get.
Ooh.
Right. Veneers is a whole other universe where...
But why do you refuse to do the veneers?
Just because I think that you notice people have veneers because they look insane.
They like chiclets in their mouth. Chiclet gum.
I mean, Hillary Duff.
Oh, God.
Yes. Her heyday. Right. Maybe even Haley, too. But I was going to say, I kind of wanted the look of a sleazy 70s, 80s game show host. You know what I mean? With the giant chompers and the glistening Mentadent grin. I really wanted that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to stick with my Invisalign. I've had it for 8 weeks. It's got a few more. So
I'm excited to get aligners soon. I feel like it's just, we're bombarded with so many options. There's like Smile Direct Club and Invisalign and Candid and Bite, and there's just too many options. I'd rather just continue to have the snaggletooth at this point.
well, you know what, Aida? I want a white tooth somewhere.
Oh, God. Ira, don't step on the Keep It. Let's let it go. Let's just let it live.
Just giving him a little preview.
that's a fun little tease. Yeah.
Give it a moment to breathe.
It's called foreshadowing.
God, I really wish that's what the white boys would stay. All 4 of them stay in their shadows. Oh, I also would like to issue a formal apology to Beyonce for stealing $1 million worth of things from her storage unit. It was me.
Oh.
It was me.
Well, you need something to do. We're not together in the pandemic, and, theft is an activity. I also, by the way, I want to issue an apology. Last week, Ira and I were just ad-libbing, having a good time, and casually said that Mickey Rourke was in Breakfast at Tiffany's like 2 or 3 times. It is definitely Mickey Rooney. So you are welcome if this idea comes to fruition, because I would love to see Mickey Rourke in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I would like to see it.
Did you re-listen and hear the error of the ways, or were you attacked online?
Oh, no, the TCM community came for me, so.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we could have issued corrections before. We probably should every week because, listen, we are people with a lot of pop culture in our brains, and sometimes we'll accidentally say Mickey Rourke instead of Mickey Rooney. Mm-hmm. And then someone named Abigail will usually be in your DMs and saying, I know you all didn't just confuse that. Implying that we're idiots. Meanwhile, they're shocked when we pull out the name of someone from like some 1963 ABC direct DVD film. They didn't have DVDs then. Whatever.
You sound brilliant. Yeah.
I'd like to issue a correction for what I just said about Abigail.
I feel like it's not that fair. Mickey Rourke, Mickey Rooney, not that egregious. It's not like you guys said Mickey Mouse was fucking in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
That'd be cute.
The problem is that this is a weekly show, So, if it were daily, like a View or something, we could correct the next day. A week has gone by. Who even remembers that we said?
Right. We're not doing Akilah Hughes shit here and being on the air every day. I need time off, so just know that about me.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get the show started.
I guess, yeah.
We will be joined by our friends Naomi Ekperigin and Megan Gailey, who have a new podcast about Lifetime movies.
2 of the funniest women. Enjoy them so much.
And genuinely our friends. It was such a fun conversation.
Yeah. And Don Lemon is back.
How?
He is going to dial us up and tell us more about defunding the police.
And how we got it wrong? We're having a conversation, which is what's important during these times.
Yeah. I can't wait till these times are over and we don't have to have conversations anymore.
Yeah, I'm ready to shut the door, so.
Done speaking. Brain going to mush. White boy summer is coming.
I'm going to pick up chain smoking so I can't talk to anybody.
Speak through my stoma.
It's like the French do. Also, obviously, Lil Nas X dropped a music video. We're going to talk about that. So, we'll be right back. And we're back. Every time I say "and we're back," I sound like John Lovett.
I was going to say, to me, you sound more like Jenny Jones or something.
Jenny Jones.
Vintage talk show.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. From geek to chic.
This episode is going to give a lot of Ira becoming John Lovett, evolving into your true form.
Oh, I don't like that.
I'm so sorry. I know. Yeah, immediately. That might be who you become.
An American Lovett in Los Angeles.
Please no.
Take on the Crooked Dynasty.
Before we jump into our topics this week, should we do a quick episode of Guess Who Died, with the official Keep It Offshoot podcast?
Oh, my God.
Because everybody fucking died this week, starting with Jessica Walter from, most notably, Arrested Development, a show I actually have to say I failed to get into at the time.
This doesn't shock me.
Because, David Cross, not really my brand. I prefer Will Arnett on 30 Rock. But Jessica Walter, the imperiousness with which she played the part of Lucille Bluth, unforgettable. And also, a death that hurts because, again, you just sort of have a feeling like, oh, now it's somebody's time. And she felt very vibrant right up to the end. Was an Archer, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
All 40 seasons?
Yeah, just an unforgettable performance.
Yeah, I absolutely love Jessica Walter. Beyond that, a lot of people were also mentioning Play Misty for Me, which is a fun film that you should watch, even though it has Clint Eastwood in it, doing that same face that he always does.
Rankled scarecrow, yeah.
I mean, it's really the Joey Tribbiani, smell the fart soap acting that he always does when he's on Days of Our Lives on Friends. I feel like that's what Clint Eastwood is always looking at. Or it's like he forgot to put on sunglasses and he's squinting because the sun's in his eyes. It's a lot of that in all of his movies.
Definitely. Jessica Walter gives a great and creepy and shocking performance, and also gives that character, I think, more depth than was actually intended. And I want to also shout out a movie she did in the 60s called The Group, which is based off a Mary McCarthy novel, and it's about a bunch of women who graduate from Vassar. And it's one of the first showcases for Candice Bergen, two actresses I love, Elizabeth Hartman and Joan Hackett. And Jessica Walter is so assured right from the go. And it just makes you think it took until Arrested Development for her to have a real signature role. And she truly had it in 1966. So there's an entire career of work to enjoy there.
One thing that people actually don't know about Jessica Walter, and maybe it's tea and I shouldn't be saying it, but whatever. Mentioning Days of Our Lives earlier, the show that Joey Tribbiani was on Friends, there's a character on Days of Our Lives named Vivian Alamain. She's a villainess. She buried someone alive in the 90s. Anyway, she's played by this actress, Louise Sorrell. Louise wasn't going to come back for a stint on the show, and it was almost cast as Jessica Walter, I was told.
Oh, wow.
I bet she would have been fabulous.
She almost would have done a brief little few-week arc on Days of Our Lives, and I heard why she allegedly did not do it is because she did not know that Louise played the role right before her, and apparently they're close friends. And she didn't want to take over a role that her friend was iconically known for. Her friend's most famous role.
Oh, I see. I see.
She didn't do it.
Generous queen. All right.
That's sweet and noble.
Yeah. Imagine that in Hollywood.
Fuck that.
When you get to that age, you don't give a fuck anymore, right?
You'd think. But if I get asked to be an extra in You next season, fuck you, Ira. Fuck you. It's cutthroat,
Step
baby girl.
right over him. Yeah.
I'll see you on set then. I'll announce it right here. I'm in season 3.
God damn it.
I'm in every episode. I'm a cast member now.
I don't know how they got to that decision, but...
You are Penn Badgley.
Victoria Pedretti, do something. I'm worried. Speaking of dependable actors, we also lost George Segal this week, who I am wearing my Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf shirt, which I'm sure you guessed I owned.
And it's plastered to your skin, probably, but that's fine.
Oh, yeah. This is a tattoo.
It's like a common uniform, yeah.
He has Virginia Woolf locked in his bedroom.
She keeps trying to drown herself, and I keep saving her. But George Segal was this guy who you probably know as David Spade's boss foil on Just Shoot Me.
Yes.
And he was on the Goldbergs in recent years, but was also in the 60s and 70s this actual movie star. He was in things like A Touch of Class and Fun with Dick and Jane, if you want to see Jane Fonda robbing banks. Just one of these people that you would hire for everything. He's in this movie called Who is Killing the Great Chefs of Europe, which is a real movie title.
I think it was Ratatouille.
The first time I saw him was in Flirting with Disaster with Ben Stiller.
Great movie.
Yes, absolutely. It is the epitome of Jewish father, anxious Jewish dad, and it's hilarious in The Goldberg.
Flirting with Disaster is very underrated, I think. Yes.
I did not realize that the boss from Just Shoot Me, which I did watch, of course I did, was from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. So I've never connected that.
Wow.
The idea that somebody was magically the perfect screen partner for both Elizabeth Taylor and David Spade is brain-breaking.
You know what other wild movie he's in?
California Split.
The Mirror Has Two Faces.
Oh, he sure is in The Mirror Has Two Faces.
Revisit that Barbra Streisand classic.
And by the way, what you should really revisit is the Best Supporting Actress handout at the Oscars that year, because Lauren Bacall is sure she's going to win for The Mirror Has Two Faces, and Juliette Binoche races right past her. And I'm just going to say, Lauren Bacall already has a frosty look on her face. She becomes like just the rudest gargoyle when Juliette Binoche wins, and then literally apologizes to her for winning. It was an Olivia Colman, Glenn Close sort of situation. Anyway, check it out.
Also, some inside Keep It baseball for the fans. As we know, every week I come up with episode titles based on what we talk about. I was weirdly looking at a George Segal film to play on the title during the week of Harry and Meghan.
Oh, wow.
Because he's in the film with Goldie Hawn, which I've never seen. I just know the title and I've seen the poster for it, The Duchess and the Dirtwater Fox.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Witchcraft.
I killed him by not using it.
You want to own that?
Huh?
That's what you want to have attached to your name?
I've killed many celebrities,
You're right. It's just a list at this point.
Ask me where Jeremy Renner is.
Wow. Somebody I've forgotten to think about, and he did have an app once upon a time. Anyway, this has been Guess Who Died. But guess who lives? Tina Turner. Did you guys see that documentary on HBO Max over the weekend?
Yes, with just casual interviews with like Oprah and Angela Bassett. Yes, yeah, one of the best documentaries I've seen in a long time now.
Sounds like Keep It.
True.
Yeah. Once we get Oprah, we'll be right there with an HBO Max documentary.
I have two problems with this documentary, though. One, something they convey well is that Tina Turner had the Tina Turner zing X Factor right out of the gate. And I still have questions like, where did Tina Turner come up with Tina Turner? Because nobody was matching that energy level anywhere else in popular culture. Because she wasn't like Elvis, and she wasn't like the Rolling Stones, though they do go to great pains to say she taught Mick Jagger how to dance in a certain way. How did she know? Like, she had no performance training, no musical training, and yet she just knew to be that electric. It just is very shocking to me. And then secondly, they did not play once my favorite Tina Turner song, which is Typical Male from the Break Every Rule album in the 80s. And if you haven't heard Typical Male, that is like the swimmiest, poppiest Tina Turner you'll get.
Right in the deep end.
What was refreshing about watching that documentary was seeing a Black woman perform with no desire to remain like makeup faced and not sweating. Like she was really just leaving it all out there. And, you know, she had that like sassy auntie at the barbecue mullet at most performances. And I respect that.
Well, I feel like part of it too was, you know, if you are sort of a person who grows up in Black music tradition, specifically in that era, a lot of your performances or whatever you've probably seen involve church. So I feel like her movement, the face, you know, it felt a lot like, you know, like when someone's being like, the Holy Ghost took me over.
Exactly.
Or something
Which
like that,
Oprah fully
you know?
said about Tina Turner and watching her perform for the first time. Like it was just so electric and magnetic. You had to become a part of it. Cue Ike.
Yeah, it was so great just to see this and to see just sort of like how much she's influenced culture. Because, you know, she is an icon, but not one we talk about that much, you know, but through her own design, to be honest. You know? I mean, it talks about how Tina the Musical, which we talked about with Katori Hall, who wrote it, the book for it, how that was sort of a farewell to her fans, you know, going to see that because she lives in Zurich with her man, who's 20 years younger and was fine. And when they showed them photos of when she was like about to turn 50 and met him and he was the driver and she was like, I like him. I was like, go ahead, girl. My only complaint too would be that I wish it were like a multi-part documentary, you know? The beauty of this was that it really dipped into a lot of the stuff that documentaries are doing right now, that media's doing now, in revisiting how we interview people and how, we discuss women in the media in general. Revisiting all those questions that people would ask her about Ike continuously.
Yeah, well after the fact.
Years after the fact. And it's wild to see, because imagine doing that now to someone. Right?
Especially with that harrowing a story. Totally.
People are asking Nicole about Tom.
Precisely.
All the time, you know? Only Oprah has. Rewatch that interview that Oprah does with Nicole Kidman and the cast of The Hours. Julianne Moore and Meryl Streep are just sitting next to her, and Meryl's just sort of nodding along during it, being like, thank God my husbands and partners haven't been like as famous as me. That's really a problem for another celebrity, because once you break up with them, then I feel like people are going to always want to ask questions about that person, right?
Yeah.
But to hear the questions, like someone asked her, what was the worst moment in your marriage, to Ike, like what was a low light, something that you would like to forget? Well, I'm like, well, if she'd like to forget it, she certainly won't be forgetting it now, because you just asked her about it, weirdo.
Yeah,
exactly.
That is too bad.
And not just the history of interviewers, continuing to force this abuse back onto Tina, but I remember for years, and even up to now, rappers have just continued to put like references to the abuse casually in their lyrics. Like, I think about the Biggie song.
I've never liked that in Drunken Love.
Yeah, or always like beating motherfuckers like Ike beat Tina is in Machine Gun Funk by Biggie. It's just constantly in the culture. And you know what this reminds me of a lot is when we were reading Mariah Carey's memoir earlier last summer. And at the very least, it's nice to see women on the other side of the abuse speaking triumphantly about their past. That was nice, but just gives me so much Tommy Mottola and the psychological and verbal abuse that Mariah Carey dealt with during her time. And you just, eek.
The moment I had never seen, too, was when they were at the Venice Film Festival. And she's sitting there next to Angela Bassett and the team for What Love Got to Do with It. And the press is asking her what she thinks about the movie. And then she says, I'm tired of revisiting this traumatic experience. And I'm really not looking forward to sitting in a theater and rewatching it. So, no, I haven't seen the movie yet. And it's wild.
I'm particularly grateful for this documentary, because I think people still think of that movie as the definitive Tina Turner storytelling. And that is a hard movie to watch.
Absolutely.
There's rarely a moment in that movie where you're like, I'm glad I'm looking at this or whatever, even though the performances are obviously fantastic. But something I appreciated was, though they do spend the first quarter or half of the movie on Ike, they really give the proper amount of time to the latter part of her career, where she really established the Tina Turner brand we know best, the post What's Love Got to Do with It song, the Private Dancer album era of Tina Turner. And by the way, also, the star of this documentary is what an incredible interviewee she is. Every part of her career was given way more nuance just by the sheer virtue of her talking about it. And I cannot say that for many celebrities. She really has a crackerjack memory for everything. So I really recommend people checking it out, because you get acquainted with the personality of Tina Turner as well as the persona of Tina Turner.
Yeah.
One thing that really hit me in the documentary, too, was I was talking with a friend recently who doesn't really get celebrity sort of like idolatry, like they like their people, but they're not really connecting with them in that way. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But they asked a specific question to the effect of, like when Whitney Houston died, like why was the flag lowered?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, they're singers and they're doing their job, but I'm like, why do we all have these intense connections to them? And I think that like this movie really gets that across. Tina herself being like bewildered constantly by the fact that, like the lowest points in her life were inspiring to other people. And I think it's really just an example of how we don't talk about a lot of things in this country in general. And we'll get to that when we talk about the Lil Nas X video, right? But it's like, because of how much is not talked about, how much we sort of suppress things like talking about abuse or, like sexuality or, anything else, when there is someone in the public eye who is weathering all these things, it becomes inspirational to people who don't yet have the language to talk about that.
And then somewhat problematically, we depend on celebrities like that to do the talking for us, you know?
Well, yeah, because we talked about this when we saw the Britney Spears documentary, right? You know, being shocked about all these interviews with her and even being like, damn, even the one with Diane Sawyer was out of pocket, you know? But it just reminds you that the way that we talk about those interviews now, we weren't talking about them then. So it's just weird to imagine being like a Tina Turner fan back then and obsessing over her. And then every time you turn on the TV or the radio and you're hearing one of those interviews that they kept replaying, the ones that were horrific to listen to now, you might have had a sense that they were horrific back then, but you didn't have the like mainstream language to discuss why that was problematic, because she continued to have to endure it, you know? So like she wasn't standing there and being like, hey, let's not do this, you know? I don't know. It just reminds you that a lot of celebrities end up being sacrificial lambs for the conversations that we have in the future in culture amongst ourselves.
I'm just going to remind everybody to get Typical Male. It's way better than The Best, which is which has not kind of become her signature song in a way. But anyway, well, DM me about Typical Male.
Well, thanks to Schitt's Creek.
Right. Also, you know what they didn't get into? Divas Live 99, where there was backstage footage of Elton John and Tina Turner bickering, and she goes, you hear her, they're practicing for their big performance together. You hear Tina Turner say, what's that pat, pat, pat? Like somebody's playing the piano in a kind of boogie-woogie way, and Elton's like, that's me. And so there's this contentious moment of, you're playing the piano in a way I don't like. I wish they would have gotten into that. In fact, I think all the Divas Live every single year should be its own. That's what Ryan Murphy should be putting his money into. Retellings of the Divas Live series.
I really love moments like that where people interact with other bigger celebrities and you see their like tensions happening. I mean, I forget what I was watching recently, but there was a clip of like Cher performing with Elton like years ago. And I'm just sort of like, what was that performance thing like? And then did they decide we don't like performing with each other?
Right. Yeah, all I know is Elton once called Madonna a fairground stripper. What does he think of Cher?
As Lewis talks about Typical Male, I will say that everyone should revisit the album after Private Dancer, Break Every Rule.
That's what Typical Male's on.
Which doesn't get enough play.
Yeah.
Which doesn't get enough play. But Afterglow, I'll Be Thunder, these are hits. Get into the Tina deep cuts. That's what you should do after this documentary. And HBO Max, if you're listening, that very cute Tina sweater that you kept sending to influencers and Billy Eichner, I want it.
Send it our way.
So send it our way, or at least, send out a link to where I can buy it.
Or at the very least, if you have a time machine and can send me back to 1975 so I can watch Tommy live, if I can actually see the Broadway musical live, that would be good for me. So if anyone's available with the technology, let's go.
Speaking of Tommy, I just saw a clip of Anne Margaret, the star of Tommy, performing with Tina Turner. And like in a way, you might intuitively think, oh, they're sort of alike. Like their hands are up everywhere. They're like really swimmy dance movements. Watching Anne Margaret, you see what she is lacking in comparison to Tina Turner, and it is very interesting. So watch that performance if you can find it.
Is it melanin?
You might be onto something.
I was going to say, is it giving Addison Rae stitched with black TikTokers doing the same dance? But we'll get to that too. Look at me.
Yeah. So look at Aida doing more foreshadowing. Anyway, HBO Max PR girls, if you're listening, those are the things that we want. And I know you're listening. They're just waiting to see if I say I hated the Snyder Cut. And you know what? I did. We'll be right back. Keep It is brought to you by Away Travel. Away is a modern lifestyle brand that creates thoughtful products for every traveler and every kind of trip. They started with the perfect suitcase, crafted with features that make travel more seamless. And now, when travel looks more different than ever before, you can count on Away's range of suitcases, bags, and accessories whenever you take that next trip. I cannot wait to travel again. I'm already thinking about going to Amsterdam again as we talk about in this episode. I love my away luggage. And now, as we're all getting vaccinated and the world is opening back up again, I'm very excited to start planning a vacation. Away luggage is really, absolutely one of my faves. It's all the luggage that I have in my closet at home. So whether it's a trip to the corner store, a weekend away, or an extended stay with friends and family, we're all navigating the current reality of travel. But no matter your destination or style, Away's suitcases, bags, and accessories all come in a variety of colors, sizes, and materials to suit your needs and inspire your future travels. All of Away's suitcases are designed to last a lifetime with durable exteriors that can withstand even the roughest of baggage handlers. Every suitcase comes with an interior organization system that includes a built-in compression pad to help you pack more in and a hidden and removable laundry bag that separates your dirty clothes. 4 360-degree spinner wheels guarantee the smoothest roll, even through the most hectic of airports and stations. It's also available in different materials like polycarbonate, aluminum, and durable nylon, in a variety of colors and sizes. And it has a TSA-approved combination lock to keep all your belongings safe. Away products are designed to last a lifetime. If any part of your suitcase breaks, Away's standout customer service team will arrange to have it fixed or replaced. And this is not a joke. I break shit all the time, especially my luggage, and I have had many of my Away suitcases replaced and fixed. So there's a 100-day trial on everything Away makes. Take the product out on the road, live with it, travel with it, even get lost with it for 100 days. Don't lose the Away product itself, just like get lost with it emotionally. If you decide it's not for you, you can return any non-personalized item for a full refund during that period. No ifs, ands, or asterisks. Away offers free shipping and returns on any order within the contiguous US, UK, Europe, and Canada. Start your 100-day trial and shop the entire Away lineup of travel essentials, including their best-selling suitcases at awaytravel.com/keepit. That's awaytravel.com/keepit.
Keep It is brought to you by the OK Now Listen podcast. OK Now Listen is a bi-weekly podcast hosted by Scotty Beam and Sylvia Obell. Brought to you by Netflix and Strong Black Lead. Join these best friends as they talk openly and honestly about what's on their minds. We should try that sometime. What they're binging, and what's blowing up their timelines. These queens have the range. They cover everything from cuffing season to Jasmine Sullivan's Ho Tales to ways we can use social media to heal. Imagine that. Scotty Beam is a media personality, music enthusiast, and wing connoisseur. Sylvia Obell is a culture writer, producer, and lover of Beyonce. A podcast by and about black women who love all things Netflix and beyond. Way beyond. So naturally, they also have the best Netflix recommendations and exclusive celebrity interviews like Issa Rae and Zendaya. New episodes drop every other Thursday. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcast and follow Strong Black Lead, that's at Strong Black Lead, on all the socials to stay up to date.
Keep It is brought to you by Keeps. Keeps offers a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair. Convenient virtual doctor consultations and medications are delivered straight to your door every 3 months, and you don't have to leave your home. It's low cost. Treatments start at just like $10 per month, and Keeps offers generic versions. They have discreet packaging, proven results, and more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors. Prevention is key. Treatments can take 4 to 6 months to see results, so you'd better act fast.
If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/keepit to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's keeps.com/keepit to get your first month free. keeps.com/keepit.
Our guests today are two very funny ladies. Allegedly. I've heard. That is what I believe, and I think most of you know that too. They're writers, stand-ups, and most importantly, they love Lifetime movies. So, please welcome Naomi Ekperigin and Megan Gailey. Hi.
Wow.
Hi.
Wow, this is huge.
And the crowd
This is
goes
huge.
I'm
wild.
so excited to finally have you all here.
Oh, we're so excited. And we do love Lifetime movies, but I do want to say that Lifetime does pay us to love Lifetime movies. We are
Wow. Okay,
Everything makes a lot
Megan.
more sense.
Yeah.
we are contractually in love. We're in a marriage with Lifetime at this point.
Right,
We're
right,
lawyers.
Yes. Because your new podcast, I love a Lifetime movie.
Yes.
This is a Lifetime joint.
Absolutely. We are coming
Okay.
to you from A&E Network.
A&E Network.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
affiliated.
Does seem like an ideal marriage of convenience. If I'm going to be in a situation with anybody, it better be the Lifetime Network. What did they give us? Drop Dead Diva. Yeah, I mean, all the greats. Yeah.
Even Papa A&E is kind too. You know,
yeah?
like
See?
they'll send you anything you want, and you ask them, "What do you guys want? I'll get it for you."
I was
From
going to say
A&E.
A&E, so I can get like the biography of Alan Alda or something.
100%.
Oh, definitely.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. I'll make a call.
When did he become a male feminist? I want to know.
Because my question was going to be like, were y'all just, like in the pandemic, texting each other about like your favorite Lifetime joints? Were you like, listen, Jodie Sweetin is being stalked and I can't get enough of it. We got a pod about it.
Well, okay, what had happened was Lifetime came to me and was like, you want to do a podcast about Lifetime movies? And I say, yes, because that's mostly sitting down. And then they said, who do you want to do it with? And Megan, you know what it is about Megan? Whitest person I know, whitest person I trust.
Wow.
And I just feel like considering most Lifetime movies are white women in peril, I needed to like have somebody that I could roast in that community as like
Absolutely.
the opposite. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I lived in a sorority house where there was like one room where Lifetime movies were literally playing on a loop, and I almost never went in that room. Like I would sit in my sports room and then walk through the Lifetime room, and I'm just happy that honestly my qualification was just being white. And
But you like trash though.
oh, I
also
love
like
trash. Oh,
Yeah.
listen, I've seen the cheerleader Texas murder one multiple times. I love all trash, and we've definitely found things in the Lifetime universe that are so near and dear to our heart.
How do you guys feel about VC Andrews? Are you familiar with the work of VC Andrews?
Is she the one with the kids with the
Yeah.
with the incest?
The
Yes.
incest, yes.
attic.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, Lifetime has redone those movies with Heather Graham as the mother,
Oh.
daughter from Mad Men as the daughter, and then
right.
two other Aryan children. But it was wild.
Yeah.
I was like, Heather Graham? That's the kind of thing Lifetime will give you. It'll let you know
Yes.
that Heather Graham is okay.
Oh, yeah. And with a little dash of incest on the side.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. She came on Keep It.
Right.
She came on Keep It, and we weren't sure if she was okay. So.
Right, that's right. No, I was just going to ask. Ellen Burstyn is in this Flowers in the Attic
Yes.
too, right?
Yes.
She secretly does like 5 movies a year. She's like the other Eric Roberts.
Wow. Naomi Judd was in Ruby, and to watch Naomi Judd act, I don't think I've ever seen it. And she died pretty early, but it was so fun. Naomi gives great coughs. Oh,
Yeah, there was
I
a
love
lot
her.
of coughing for Naomi Judd, but I was like really proud of her. But also you said to see her act. I'm like, was she acting?
Well, I know,
It's like,
but
It's like, be honest.
Megan, other than picking up Lifetime information from Lifetime movies, like by diffusion in the sorority house, have
Yeah.
you had to start watching Lifetime movies to keep up with Naomi, or how did this work?
oh yeah, so we watch a different movie every week, and I've learned so much. I did not know that Lifetime had Black movies, and I truly did it. And I will say that they are better. They end up being like, when I turn it on and see Megan Good, I'm like, okay, I'm in good hands, literally. And it's Naomi and my dream to make the first interracial Lifetime movie, because there are Black Lifetime movies and white Lifetime movies, but they are not allowed to come together. And Naomi and I
right.
think that's what the world needs now.
Right. We're going to integrate, okay? Little Rock 9 style. Coming up to A&E Networks. We about to change the world.
Calling Vernon Jordan now. Are you two planning on doing like a lesbian interracial thing where you both star? Is that where we're going, or is this a
I
different
personally
road?
am in the mood. I prefer the thrillers. I like any kind of Lifetime where it's like secret murderer, stalker, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So I would prefer something like that, where like maybe I fall in love with Megan's ex, and and Megan is like, stay away from him.
Okay.
And I'm like, you hate me because you ain't me. And then she's right. And then that man, then we have to both fight off this crazy person.
Yeah, because we covered a lesbian vampire movie, which is genre breaking. I had never seen that before. And it was a lot of... What, Naomi, it wasn't sexual, but
They
it
took
was...
sexy photographs.
Yeah, it was like they wanted they wanted us to be like, they're lesbians and they're really horny, but they like couldn't cross the line, so it was just them photographing each other. And I would be fully willing to do that with Naomi.
As
though.
if lesbian relationships needed more blood involved. Okay.
No, wait. So does this mean you have watched Lifetime movies new and old? Because I'm somewhat
yeah.
interested in the evolution of them. Because we think of them as one thing, but for example, if Heather Graham's in a movie or Jenny Garth's in a movie, those are two different cinematic universes to me. So what have you noticed in the evolution of Lifetime movies?
Well, it's interesting because I grew up on them, and I grew up, like it was something to me, like it was just on TV, right? And you would just kind of flip and just it's on and just have it going. And it's just interesting to me, like who the new women in peril are. Because like back in the 90s, right, like you would get like, as you would get Jodie Sweetin, as you said, like kind of making a comeback. You get Candace Cameron Bure coming in there trying to do something. And so now you see these women where it's like, okay, what show were you on 5 years ago? That now this is your like dark turn. You know what I mean?
But some of them are new.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm constantly watching a Lifetime movie and being like, oh, this is like a find, It's not one of the girls from like one of the shows, And also there's so many Lifetime movies that are now just biopics.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
The Lifetime biopic is really its own beast. So,
Yeah, and we have only watched one Harry and Meghan, and there's 3, and then we're like dying to get into the Wendy Williams. We keep asking, and sometimes they're like, we can't let you two talk about actual people because we'll get sued. And it's like, they're not gonna. Wendy was so involved in hers, but then
that's why it wasn't good.
Right. but that's why I'm like, let us watch it. Like, I think we could do, and then we could get Wendy, I think we could really, because, we can't say it, they're not good. And we invent new ways to say things are not good every week that I'm thoroughly impressed with us.
Well, my favorite phrase is, it's a wild ride. Because that doesn't say good or bad. But it's true to the fact that some shit happened that don't make no kind of sense.
Right.
Wild ride.
There was a pool boy that Naomi and I did not think was hot enough. And we were like, he needed to be hotter. And they were like, what? You guys, that's a really weird critique of a film. And we were like, a pool boy, I thought it was going to be wet the whole time. And I was not. I was dry as a bone. And so it's like, but you can't say that. And so we have to say, I was expecting more than one ab. And that's somehow legally okay.
They'll never let you talk about the Aaliyah movie then.
No.
I know.
No.
No, wait. Was Liz and Dick, the Lindsay Lohan, Elizabeth Taylor movie, a Lifetime movie also? Because I think a Danica McKellar movie preceded it. Yes,
Okay,
it was.
yes, we're getting confirmation, yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Liz and Dick, 2012. So that's my vote for your next movie.
Yes.
Okay. I love that. Yes, definitely.
I mean, they also did the Black Steel Magnolias.
Wow.
What?
Yes, which I will admit on Keep It is the only Steel Magnolias I've seen.
Not what I expected you to say at all. To dishonor Daryl Hannah this way. Yeah.
Well, you know what? But I've seen Queen Latifah, Jill Scott, Felicia Rashad, Alfre Woodard. They're all in this movie.
Wow.
It's a horrible film.
This sounds like a remake.
I'm happy I have seen the black version. Yes, a remake.
It sounds like but I'm saying it sounds like a remake of. Do y'all remember the movie Women of Brewster Place?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
I feel like when you say like that collection of people, I'm like, Are we doing a Women of Brewster place? Is that the vibe? A really searing portrait of like a black drama? But I guess that's what Steel Magnolias was.
You know what is a really messy thing you should read too? I reread Women of Brewster Place earlier in the pandemic, during that period where all of us were like, we're going to read.
I remember that week. Yes.
Yeah. And then I also read Men of Brewster Place.
Wow.
Whoa. Their side of the story. What was going on there?
Yeah. Just a lot of like sexual tension. I feel like all the Brewster Place books were like, oh, is someone gay?
Okay, yeah.
And then like Oprah's in the movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
My God. Wow. That takes me back. How enjoyable. Oprah's weird cinematic failures. That's something that should be re-explored. Like, who has watched the movie Beloved recently? We should be talking about that.
I know. We don't talk about Beloved enough as a culture, as a society.
My mom is still bragging that she saw, what's the...
A Wrinkle in Time?
No, the more recent recent
No
TV
one
movie.
saw that, Megan.
It's a brag.
The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. My mom keeps talking about
I
that.
have seen that. I have seen that and read that book. But that was HBO,
Right.
and so that almost like couldn't fail in the theater. Like they were like, we'll just put it on HBO, and then we don't know what the numbers are. And I think that's a good route for her. Honestly.
I think it's unfair to say cinematic failures. I did enjoy The Butler. Excuse me, the Lee Daniels,
Lee
the
Daniels,
Butler.
the
How dare
Butler.
I?
Exactly.
Yes,
Lee
yes,
Daniels,
yes.
the Butler. Are you excited for Lee Daniels, The Wonder Years?
Oh, that's right. We are getting that. Speaking of Danica McKellar, thank you for bringing that back.
Always, yeah.
I'm interested in The Wonder Years again because everybody has a weird internal narrator, and it's like the only show that actually captures the schizophrenia we all have. Like, guess who's living in my head? Daniel Stern. Like, it is kind of real.
Yeah. But I think they should have Daniel Stern do it for the black boy. Like, I think if you had The Wonder Years but still Daniel Stern narrating his thoughts, that would be real.
Question though, have any of you seen There Are No Children Here? The ABC Oprah movie with Maya Angelou from 1993.
No.
What?
No.
Nor have I.
That was about like gang violence in Chicago.
Wow.
My wood.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Give us
Yes.
something to enjoy. But I do know that Don Cheadle is going to be the voice of The Wonder Years, right? So we're going to be getting a little bit of calming, sexy.
Yeah,
sexy
that'll be
man.
nice.
And we had a Wonder Years crossover actress in our last film, the Madam
Karen.
of Purity Falls. Was the Madam
Karen Arnold, the
Yes.
actress. Did y'all know she was British?
Olivia Dabo. Yeah.
Yes,
I didn't know she was British.
She's great. That's actually like sometimes watching Lifetime movies is very calming for me as an aging actress to be like, there is a place, and I can't wait for them to welcome me with open arms because
Also, Naomi, to your point, I think on Keep It we've decided everyone is British until proven otherwise. At this point.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
we never know, and they always are.
They do. That's true. They walk among us. They really do.
Australians too. That Sarah Snook on Succession. I'm not the same after finding out about her.
No.
Australians taking
Yes.
all our good jobs. Okay, like when you don't you get me started on Australians. I sound like a damn Republican when I start talking about Australia.
Go back to
Because I'm up in here trying to act, and these Australian bitches coming up in here.
Yeah, Naomi wants the wall, but just for Australia.
Exactly.
Go back to the convict continent you came from.
I think one of the only good things that this show has ever done is helped Sarah Snook edit her Wikipedia page, by the way.
What? Did you do?
Elaborate, girl.
I don't know if you probably remember this was when we talked about it, but it was like I met Sarah Snook at like an Emmy party. It was like, oh my God, we have the same birthday. And she was like, that is not my birthday. It has been on Wikipedia for years, and I like haven't been able to. Every time she tries to change it, it gets changed back. I mentioned that on this show, and now someone was finally able to change it and cite her birthday being
Look at
mentioned
you.
as somewhere.
Speaking
Wow.
of A&E's
Can't
biography,
change
we
things.
are biographers.
But I love that you can't change something on like a famous person's Wikipedia page unless it's like cited somewhere.
Right.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
I didn't
thought
know that
anybody could just go
either.
up in Wikipedia.
Yes.
The fact that Keep It can be a credible source in any way.
Yeah, a very credible source.
It's truly the voices of our time.
Yeah.
We are. I mean, and you're a helpful journalist as well, Naomi, because one of the first times we met, it was before I was going to Amsterdam for the first time.
Oh, that's
And
true.
you sent me like a long email of Amsterdam Recs, and they were fantastic.
I love that. I'm so glad that you could. I got those from Michelle Buteau in part, and then I kind of added some to my list. I added some to the list. So the next person you meet who says they're going, you take that list, you adjust it. This is going to be like the traveling pants. You can give that list to anybody going to Amsterdam.
It's like we're all in the circle.
Right? Exactly.
I'd hope it's just 15 different brothels. I just.
Oh my God! My favorite thing I saw in the red light district was just like one lady. She was standing, in the window on her phone playing Candy Crush, and I said, "That's real." I said, "That's life. That's life right here."
That's the girlfriend experience.
Exactly.
I saw a woman pull Mardi Gras beads out of her.
Don't.
Yeah.
In the window?
In Amsterdam?
And I was an 18-year-old virgin, and I honestly was like, is this possible? Like, is this something I need to be practicing? Like, yeah, I guess my Amsterdam email would just been like, make sure you have sex before you go to Amsterdam.
I like that you were looking at this woman and thinking, is she doing some sort of Lance Burton thing? Like there's like a handkerchief coming out of nowhere. Magic is real.
But was that for free? I feel like that's not something you should be giving away. The ability to do that should be for paying customers.
Naomi, that was obviously in a theater.
Oh, okay, you were seeing a show.
Right, exactly. There was a playbill.
Okay, wonderful.
She was union.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
You still haven't revealed which hole. I know I stopped you.
Oh yeah, okay. So
I
it
have
was
no
out.
idea.
It was out of her vagina, not her butt. But then the woman after her put a lit candle in her vagina and danced to Metallica, and I was like, now that is art.
Oh my God, that sounds so painful.
I just love doing fun things in old European countries because when I was in Amsterdam, it was King's Day, and everyone takes to the streets and they're partying everywhere, and there's like DJ music and whatever, and like one of the specific places were like where the gays were partying, and I was like, I had to realize the fact that there are gays drinking and like doing drugs behind Anne Frank's house. While Britney's like Till the World Ends is playing. Beautiful.
Just as she wrote for. That's just as she asked.
Yeah. What she hoped.
Anyway.
I believe people are fags at heart, she wrote.
Just hoping one of them was Jewish, though, at least. That was the dream.
So should we play a game with y'all?
I think so.
Lifetime movies?
I would love a game.
It feels so John Lovett. Hey guys, let's play a game.
As he adjusts his beanie and
Exactly.
Zumba pants or whatever he's wearing.
Pulls his socks back up.
So, everyone's going to play the game. Lewis and Aida as well. The first person to guess the name or the person who gets closest, you get a point. I don't know if you win. We'll figure it out. But I'm going to say a log line, and then you have to tell me the name of a movie.
All right.
These are all Lifetime movies, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm
all right.
not just
Absolutely.
Gonna, I'm not going to give you all like ABC movies.
You're not
going to
say
84.
Young boy goes to a school for magic.
All right, I'm zoomed in. I'm ready for this.
Lewis is so competitive, and it will be so stressful seeing his face when he does not know the answer.
Oh, no, watch me. Yeah. This is kind of my nightmare. Yeah.
Don't look.
His eyes are going to pop like the teacher from Daria.
Mr. DiMartino.
Okay, movie number 1. A college student endures cyberbullying and even death threats when it is revealed that she has chosen to become a porn star under a pseudonym to pay off her sizable tuition expenses.
Okay. Cyberbullying. Porn.
College, tuition.
Diary of a Cam Girl.
Beautifully done. I'm going to go with Scam Sorority.
Okay.
I feel like there's going to be some sort of like web twist in it. www.judgment.com.
Okay.
Only scams. There's really.
That's good. That's
good, Aida. You said only scams?
Okay.
That's
Scams.
good.
Only scams might be a little too modern, but we're going with
That's good.
That would sell right in the room, though. If
Yes,
it's not
yes,
right,
yes, yes.
we'll cut that out and you can take that. Yeah.
You know, I think that I'm going to give it to Naomi because the closest, none of them are close, truly. maybe no one gets any points. The
Yeah, that's
movie
fine.
is From Straight A's to Triple X.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't think it was
love
going to be
that,
that
though.
obvious.
What a title!
Yeah.
I love
What
that.
a title!
Yeah.
That sounds like Vin Diesel's biopic.
A lot of the alphabet is represented there. Good for them.
Yeah. From straight A's to
It's a
triple X.
X. Yeah, I guess I don't even think about colleges having grades.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your
do.
problem with it? I feel
Yes.
like Lifetime, it's like, to me, triple X is too sexy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Lifetime, it's
Yeah.
always like lust or forbidden
Scandal.
desire.
Yeah.
They don't just say, like,
Yes.
we fucking. So I didn't know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
can I
yeah.
do that on the show? I'm sorry, I cursed. I shouldn't do that for the culture.
Oh, we
Oh, no,
swear, we
please.
swear all the time, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, fuck them people. I don't know which people, but
I know.
them people.
Yeah. That's evergreen. That's an evergreen quote.
All right, movie number 2. A couple discovers that the baby girl they're trying to adopt is being auctioned off to the highest bidder. The couple becomes part of a sting operation to bust the baby selling ring.
Wow.
Oh, this one's easy. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'm certain of this.
Certain undercover baby selling. This almost feels like Inspector Mom, Megan. Like when a woman has to go undercover to
but
get
we
in.
know we know Inspector Mom's about a soccer mom.
That's true. That's true.
Is she related to Gadget?
Distant cousins, but yes.
I know. I also think Inspector Gadget every time. I'm like, what does what does Mom have? Okay.
I'm gonna go with Orphan Origin. That's not even good. I'm just going with sound alike words at this point. Maybe
Okay.
you know.
Sci-fi. That sounds sci-fi to me, Lewis. Like I
Yeah,
would
it sounds
watch
like
that.
a prequel to the horror movie
Prequel.
Orphan.
Coming soon.
I almost said Bye Bye Baby, and then I remember that's a store. Well, I'm sticking with Bye Bye Baby anyways.
Okay.
That's good. Babies for sale.
That's a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen album.
Well, let me tell you, the winner is Naomi, because the name of the movie is Baby for Sale.
I mean, we're in the presence of a gifted person. That's all
Yeah.
I can say.
Wow.
You were gonna
This
be.
is why they
You
called
you
me.
were.
This is why
yes.
Lifetime called me.
You were gonna get the first point of the game, Megan, though, because you when you said "Bye Bye Baby," I was like, "Oh my God, she's so close." Naomi, congrats! All
Thank
right,
you so
One
much.
fell swoop.
then you get to go first on movie 3. Scandal rocks a New England prep school when the editor of the school newspaper releases a sex tape featuring 5 senior members of the lacrosse team and a classmate. No, this is not the Elisha Cuthbert movie, The Girl Next Door.
Good movie.
Okay.
Fantastic movie.
Editor of a school paper. But what's the scandal part yet? Is it a
The
teacher? No.
sex tape. The sex tape.
Okay, but it's just
Yeah, it has
5.
5 senior members of the lacrosse team and a classmate, which must be a girl.
Right,
So like a
I'm like,
lacrosse
classmate.
gangbang?
Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay, so we would call that recording the truth. I don't know.
Love that. You really establish a sense of drama with your titles. I'm just going for wordplay, and it doesn't work out for me.
I think I'm gonna go. I know we've already had a triple X, but I'm gonna go LAXXX.
Wow. Okay. Like lacrosse. I
Yeah,
see
like
what you're
sexy,
fucking
sexy
doing.
lacrosse.
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's good.
I'm gonna go with a throwback play title, "The School for Scandal,"
Okay.
which is just a real play, and I just think Lifetime steals titles sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with hot off the nets.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Some weak
Yeah.
combination of the newspaper and lacrosse thing.
No, that's good.
Every time I think about how hot lacrosse players are, I'm always sad that my rich white school that was all boys didn't have a lacrosse team, because that's just not what rich white kids do in Milwaukee.
It's totally regional.
Yeah, you don't play lacrosse in the
is a
Midwest.
regional
East Coast.
sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a rugby team though.
The rugby, except for
Yeah.
when they put on those ugly scrum caps where it looks like a synchronized swimmer's swimming. Net.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Nobody gets a point. Nobody gets a point this round, because the name of the
was
movie is Restless Virgins.
Oh, gross.
Oh, my God.
Doesn't that sound like a bad soap opera?
Yes.
I find restful virgins to be more sinister. Like the title doesn't do much for me drama-wise.
Okay.
Well, also they had a gangbang, so it's like if they're
Right.
still virgins, I don't want to see the tape. You know, like
There's a murder. There has to be a murder on that tape, or else it's like, who
Right.
cares?
Next movie. When Cassie's father finds himself vulnerable and bedridden, she believes she has the perfect revenge for her mother's death.
Oh, so dad's bedridden, daughter is gonna take revenge. That is it. Sleep tight, daddy.
okay.
You know how on The Price is Right, when somebody makes a good bid and then somebody
Yeah.
bids $1
yeah.
more?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do that version of it, which is Rockabye Daddy.
Wow.
Okay, cute.
Okay.
Okay, cute.
I'm going a little bit more military, and I'm thinking Daddy Down.
Okay. Okay. How about The Dead Father?
Ooh, okay. Nod to a classic.
Yeah. I think this would have been a great opportunity for the name of the film to be Don't Wake Daddy.
Oh, wow, that is good.
Yeah.
But no, it's a spin on John Tucker. This movie's title is My Father Must Die.
Okay. Okay. Who said father though? Did anyone mention the word father?
No, everyone said Daddy.
We all said
No.
daddy.
Yeah.
I
You
said
said
the
it's
dead
weird.
father.
Oh, you did say father.
Y'all better run me
Yeah.
my money.
Well, there you go.
Bitch better have my points. is what
Okay, well, you got your point, Aida.
Thank
you got your
you.
point, Aida. Weirdly, my father must die is what I used to write in my diary.
And so the dad killed the mom. I didn't see that. I didn't
Yeah.
even get that from the log line. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually a big fan
Revenge.
of Ira segue jokes. Like this might be something we need to bring in to.
Yeah, you know, that's my new move for 2021.
I love it.
Segways.
But by the way, you haven't even brought up Jesse Metcalf one time yet. In the
Yep.
somebody whose influence we often underestimate, I think.
I said John Tucker must die.
I know, but you didn't bring up John Tucker himself. I'm just saying, the man was the titular role.
All right. Last movie. This one is a doozy. When a pair of teenage boys break away from their summer camp to lose their virginity to an infamous hooker, they discover that she's since gone straight to become a rancher. After she hires them as stable boys, they learn about the real meaning of love and sex.
Wow. This movie that's twists and turns. That's
Okay.
a log line, baby.
Okay.
I'm going for reverse cowgirl.
Oh, that's
boom, boom,
good.
boom.
That's good, Aida. That is
It's gotta be
good.
that.
Fucking Oscar Wilde's here. My God.
A pithy humorist queen.
I'm going to go with hung like a horse rancher.
Whoa. Whoa. Ride till dawn.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going with the Fanny Farm.
Okay.
Did I do it? Okay.
Oh, I've been waiting.
No,
I've been
no.
waiting for the word fanny to make an appearance this whole
There is
podcast.
no point for anyone. The name of the film is The Last Prostitute.
What?
Not even true.
That is
The
exactly.
last prostitute.
Yeah.
I can name 3 off the top of my head.
Recent prostitutes.
It could be
Yeah.
like the sequel for Milk Money. You know, like what they did
Yeah.
after. Like, we got a ranch.
Yeah. I think the only two with points are Naomi and Aida. And so I'm going to pit you two against each other for this last bonus round.
Oh, all right.
Oh, wow.
Shout out whoever gets this title first. Thriller about a naive college student who falls for a charming psychopath. When Billy Owens murders his former high school sweetheart so that no one else will ever have her, he assumes a new identity as a college student.
Fuck. I feel like I know this. I feel like I've like seen this. It's like all. First of all, every psychopath is charming in Lifetime. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though in the real world, you know when somebody's psycho within 20 seconds. But in the Lifetime universe, you're like, he's so sweet. I'm drawn to him. Oh gosh.
The old college guy.
Oh, all right. Rhymes. Great.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Stalker University.
Okay. I am going to mention that one of the cast members is Ivan Sergey.
Mother, may I sleep with danger?
Yes,
Yes!
it is Mother May I Sleep with Danger, starring Miss Tori Spelling.
Yes.
The most iconic Lifetime movie in history, probably.
Exactly.
Well done. I happily cede this win to you. You did it.
This is a fun wrinkle. They did remake that, and that is the lesbian vampire movie that I was referencing.
Which is why it's not
wow.
a remake. James Franco directed it or co-wrote it?
He wrote it.
And he's in it.
He wrote it, and then he plays a drama teacher who is horned up, but he didn't think he was horned up. You just are watching it and know he's horned up.
I was going to say, I reject ironic participation in Lifetime movies like that Will Ferrell deadly adoption thing. It's like, no, do it the correct way, and I don't want to hear a snicker about it.
You know, Mother May I Sleep with Danger is what everyone who dates James Franco has to ask.
Well, exactly.
So, it fits.
Bob Hope here with his Oscars content. My God.
You know, I think this game really did transform me into John Lovett.
Yeah.
I'm doing segue jokes. I'm doing bits. My stand-ups here. Come on. Naomi and Megan, thank you for being here. I'm so excited to have y'all on. Keep it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Kept y'all in the hysteria ghetto.
I know. And I've wanted to be in the Keep It condominiums. Okay. That's what I've wanted all this time. So blessed.
Well, just so you know, I am a slumlord. So, yeah.
The rent is due.
The rent is always due.
I work for the Kushner Group. So. So new episodes of I Love a Lifetime Movie drop every Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts. That's a day after Keep It, so we are not competing.
Beautiful.
I think of us as sister pieces.
Sister podcast.
Yeah.
Keep It is brought to you by Function of Beauty. We've all got goals. Be healthy, find a work-life balance, improve our relationships, but have you thought about your hair goals? I know you have, Lewis.
Oh, God. My hair goals, I'm looking for a silvery mane like Emmylou Harris. Real talk. If you don't love your hair, then you need to break up with your current hair care routine right now, and it's time to try Function of Beauty instead. Friends don't let friends live with anything less than amazing hair. So think of me as your friend who wants you to be happy and to try Function of Beauty.
Function of Beauty is the world leader in customizable beauty, offering precise formulations for your hair's specific needs. Here's how you get started. First, you take a quick but thorough quiz to tell them a little about your hair type and your hair goals, such as lengthen, volumize, and oil control. And because your hair changes with the season, you can change your hair goals before every single shipment. Next, choose your color and fragrance, or go fragrance and dye free. Then, Function's team determines the perfect blend of ingredients, bottles your formula, and delivers it right to you. Every ingredient Function of Beauty uses is vegan and cruelty-free, and they never use sulfates or parabens. You can also go completely silicone free.
There are over 54 trillion possible formulations, and Function of Beauty has over 50,000 real 5-star reviews. And Function of Beauty offers completely personalized formulas for body and skincare as well, so you can customize your beauty routine from hair to toe. Never buy off the shelf just to be disappointed ever again. Go to functionofbeauty.com/keepit to take your quiz and save 20% on your first order. That applies to their full range of customized hair, skin, and body products. So go to functionofbeauty.com/keepit to let them know we sent you and to get 20% off your order. Functionofbeauty.com/keepit.
Keep It is brought to you by Olipop. Olipop is a new kind of soda. It tastes just like the sodas we grew up with, but unlike other sodas that are full of sugar, corn syrup, and artificial ingredients like aspartame, Olipop is made with natural ingredients that are actually good for you. And they have delicious flavors like vintage cola, classic root beer, orange squeeze, cherry vanilla, and strawberry vanilla. And we've talked about this before. I love and Olipop.
Oh, my God. No, I truly thought I would never drink soda pop again, or as we called it growing up, pop. And when I sit there and drink one, namely the classic root beer, I weep like I'm at the Fountain of Lords. They use functional ingredients that combine the benefits of prebiotics, plant fiber, and botanicals to support your microbiome and benefit digestive health. 90% of Americans consume more than the USDA's daily recommended added sugar intake, which is 30 grams. Sweetened beverages like soda are the leading source of added sugars in the American diet. Meanwhile, Olipop is much lower in sugar than conventional sodas, with only 2 to 5 grams of sugar from natural sources. No added sugar. Their vintage cola just has 2 grams of sugar. Think about that for a moment. As compared to a regular Coca-Cola, which has 39 grams of sugar. Their orange squeeze has 5 grams of sugar compared to orange Fanta, which has 44 grams of sugar. All of their products are non-GMO, vegan, paleo, and keto-friendly, with less than 8 grams of net carbs per can. They are so confident that you will love their products that they offer a 100% money-back guarantee for orders placed through their website. And I am not surprised because they are delicious. We've worked out an exclusive deal for Keep It Podcast listeners. Receive 20% off plus free shipping on their best-selling variety pack. This is a great way to try all of their delicious flavors. So go to drinkolipop.com/keepit or use code KEEPIT at checkout to claim this deal. That's drinkolipop.com/keepit. This discount is only valid for their variety pack. Olipop can also be found in over 3,000 stores across the country, including Whole Foods, Sprouts, Kroger, Wegmans, and Erewhon.
Last Thursday, Lil Nas X released a music video for his latest single, Montero, Call Me By Your Name. The video features Nas seducing himself as a snake in the Garden of Eden, pole dancing in high-heeled boots, and giving the devil a lap dance before twisting his neck. Of course, there was some drama from the conservatives who love culture wars because it's all they have. And they're tired of yelling at Cardi B about the WAP performance at the Grammys, so now they have a new thing to be mad about.
Well, it's all deviant and it's all killing the black man, and we have no black men left. Masculinity is dead. So
Meanwhile, everything he does in the video is basically what you would see in a Pussycat Dolls video. So we can go back to erasing Nicole Scherzinger.
Also, the excitement. The first time I saw these photos, Ira, you had reposted them. It was like all the photos of Lil Nas X in the wig, and I was like, "Oh, girl, he is about to destroy us." Because Lil Nas X is the actual king of PR, and this amazing 5-day rollout that he's been doing. It feels like a long form stand up comedy set. This experiential thing, and I'm so excited and so happy.
Right, releasing the fake Nikes with a drop of blood in them. 666 of them.
Hilarious.
Talking about Nike suing because they're not official Nikes.
But they look exactly like Air Max 97s. Genius.
Yeah. Fun stunts to
Yeah.
get you to continue talking about it. And, not to dwell on the conservative responses to it, but for me, it really highlighted just how obsessed they are with staying relevant through popular culture.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Grammys happen and they're talking about Cardi B and the WAP performance, and now this happens, and obviously, Lil Nas X is one of the biggest pop stars out right now due to Old Town Road, being like that big ass #1 single.
Yeah.
I think it still has the record. And the idea that they know this is dropping and they're waiting to jump on it and talk about it, and they always jump on the thing so quickly. So it's like they're watching everything, waiting for the moment to have a response. It's almost, like a comedian on Twitter, got to watch this award show that I don't care about just to get off some jokes so they can go viral and I can get more followers. That is what the conservatives do as well.
Right. Meanwhile, this is a man who wears neon pink cowboy outfits. What is he going to do but seduce the devil in what looks like a warehouse party on Chromatica? Of course, this feels just very natural to me. In fact, I am somewhat charmed by there being any controversy at all about this. It feels very 80s Tipper Gore to me. When, in fact, usually the homoerotic controversial music video is generated by either a musician who's in the closet, like a George Michael at the time, say, or someone like Madonna, who in the Justify My Love video had men making out, and then she's in the background snickering at them, which that's the irreverence I like. Not only is it a queer music video, but it feels like Lil Nas X is very amused with himself as he's doing it too. It's not self-serious. It's not super self-serious. And that is just so thrilling. That's so medicinal to me. Here's a truth about me, and I'm handling it with really cartoonish, insane, fun, but still somewhat emotional heft.
Frankly, we are due for some satanic panic, first of all, because
Definitely.
it's been so long since Sinead did anything, Madonna did anything, Marilyn Manson did anything. We are due. We are due for this, and the black queer kids deserve it, and I'm so happy.
What's actually so exciting about this is that, to address your satanic thing first, Aida, it's taken me even a long journey to enjoy something like this. Because I wasn't even a religious person who was like, oh my God, imagery of Satan is turning me off, right? But I just remember as a kid being like, these Marilyn Manson videos, I was like, that's too much for me.
Yeah.
Right? Just even hearing it, and it's I think I could only get into beautiful people being like, oh, okay, this is a bop. You're
like, this isn't a major key. I can listen to
yes. But seeing this, I'm like, okay, Satan, let's do it.
I totally think it's fair to remain divided on how you feel about this video, because I can celebrate how exciting this is for Lil Nas, the queer community, and for him accepting his own sexuality. But also, I didn't like any of the Satan stuff or seeing this poorly CGI'd Satan's neck getting snapped and him dancing. I think it's fair. I think it's fair to not know where you stand.
I think, I would have liked something other than Calvin Klein underwear.
Oh, that's your big gripe?
I think some of the styling was a little off. That's it. But to address what Lewis was saying before, about it not being so self-serious, I think what was so fun about it is that it is very playful. And then outside of the video, he can do things like post a letter to his 14-year-old self on Instagram, saying, I wrote a song with our name in it. It's about a guy I met last summer. I know we promised never to come out publicly. I know we promised to never be that type of gay person. I know we promised to die with the secret, but this will open doors for many other queer people to simply exist. So there is this awareness there. And even this sort of internal struggle, right, of being, whatever he considers to be that type of gay person, does that just mean a gay person who's happy and doing whatever they want and now realizing that you can do that, and it's so nice to have queer themes in a video too that aren't from a straight man. Sort of playing the field to gay bait.
That letter articulates how, for a lot of queer people, you think I don't have to talk about being gay or I don't have to talk about my sexuality is the liberating thing. And then something changes in your brain usually, and it becomes, why the fuck wouldn't I talk about this? That's the freeing thing. So it's
right.
He really articulates that strange introspective thing you have to do to get to the other side of being out as, one, no big deal, and two, especially my business. So I'll talk about it with whatever candor I need to.
Well, I mean, we still experience that as adult queer people. People our age who you'll always get that one person who just sort of yeah, I'm gay, but I don't need to talk about it, or how many times can you get onto a gay dating app and see people being still writing in 2021 the phrase not into the scene.
Where is the scene?
Girl, what is the scene? What is the scene? Are we doing Summer and Smoke? Are we doing Cat on a Hot Tin Roof? What is really the scene here? Because I had a date with a man recently who was a few years older than me, and he was not really talking in the respects of I'm not into the scene, but he did sort of say, I'm not a person, who goes to gay bars, and I'm not really into that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, first of all, that might be a thing that I would be okay with hearing years ago. But once you learn anything more about gay rights movement, gay liberation, how it is a space for, non-cis white people, to exist in, it gives you this whole different perception of people who are like, I'm not into like the scene or going to that stuff, right? Because it's also like, you don't have to go to it because you're gay, but you can also still walk around and go to sports bars and be like a bro or whatever if you'd like to be, you know? It's the other people in the community who have to go there because they're not safe in other places.
Exactly. Like, it's a political move in the way that I hear that you can pass in other places and you don't give a fuck about your community, nor do you care or need that community the way people like us do.
Yeah, you're setting yourself apart. It's
sounds like a gay imitation of life.
There you go. Yes,
precisely. And you're sobbing as your gay elder is dying at a funeral, and you're like, I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry. I will go to the Abbey with you.
So I imagine you're still dating that man.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. But a lot of that, too, I've been thinking about just because I got myself and Royce this book, Gay Bar, Why We Went Out, by Jeremy Atherton Lynn. And it's sort of like talking about the history of gay bars. And I think it's a very good book. So people should dig into that.
Nice plug.
Yeah. Book recommendations.
I cannot fucking wait until gay bars come back. I'm somebody who has like basically stopped drinking over the pandemic, and I'm not saying nobody should drink or everybody should drink, but I may just give it up and start drinking again because I miss gay bars that much. So,
I miss the unadulterated version of myself. You know, there's more. This is me stopping a lot. So.
No, we're all on airplane mode right now, and I'd like to reignite the other 90% of us, which happens, at places called trunks, etc.
Plus, I just love blasphemy in pop music anyway, because as I said before, Judas is my favorite Gaga song.
Yes, shake it up.
And he is a barb, and there are shades of Nicki's Roman's Holiday performance at the Grammys that got the Vatican pissed off at her.
God, do I miss the Vatican sending you a strongly worded missive about what you have done. The Madonna Blonde Ambition tour.
They did that to us last week. Hey, faggots, stop having sex.
We've thought about it, and it's a no, all of gay people.
I'm imagining some like assistant at the Vatican constantly reminding the Pope, you said that you were going to say something about, the gays. And he's like, I'll get to it. I don't know what accent that was.
Somewhere between Argentina and all of Europe.
And then it's an Ira accent.
It's the Ira Kaufman. The Ira Kaufman, just whatever I can string together.
All right, when we're back, keep it. And we're back with our favorite segment of the episode. It is Keep It. Aida.
Aida is already cackling, which doesn't bode well. So I
just remembered something heinous that you guys remember my Kumail Nanjiani fiasco last year. Right. Okay. Well, there was a much smaller one that I haven't told anyone about because I hold a lot of guilt about it since it is a white man, but we're going to get into that. My keep it goes to White Boy Summer. I'm not condemning it. I just want to know what the fuck is going on. Okay. So I don't know if you guys saw the video. I'm sure you did. Chet Hanks is on her Clio. He's on her Raven Simone, has declared that he has a feeling that this summer is about to be a white boy summer. Mm-hmm. Let me just tell you, this feels unhinged. I don't know. Chet Hanks, what do you mean by white boy summer? He says him, John B., Jack Harlow, pretty much the blackest white men that he can think of. These are the men that are going to thrive. I'm not mad about him having their moment. I feel like it's been about a year since white men have not been allowed to be in the news cycle at all for anything, and they're freaking out, and it's time for them to re-seize their moment of fame, their spotlight. Go ahead, do that. I can't wait to see it. The only rules and regulations that have been put down are no plaid shirts. Mm-hmm. That's it. So I'm just eager to see what happens. Here's the thing about Chet Hanks. If Chet Hanks didn't have money, I feel like he would be wearing Ed Hardy cologne in a tap-out shirt, working at like a nutrition store. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure what he really is going to bring to the general culture, but I can't wait to see it. I really can't.
And
wait
I
to
would
see it.
still want to fuck him.
Oh.
And that's
Can
the
we
thing.
all just admit that Chet Hanks is hot?
He's fine. He's fine as hell.
He is fine, okay? And you know what? White Boy Summer, I am pro White Boy Summer because you know what the unspoken word here is? It's not white boy. It's Wigga Summer.
Wigga, thank you. And that's the thing
Okay.
is that I was cackling at the beginning of this Keep It because I remembered that I tweeted that I was breaking my no pink dick policy for Jack Harlow. And
This fucking podcast.
he did, in fact, see it. And I just can't wait for the white boys to have their little pink nipples out. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
It's going to be fun summer.
I can't believe I have to navigate between we're excited for the White Boy Summer and also we really want to fuck Chet Hanks. I'm going to go
Louis.
with stop. Everybody stop.
Louis is, but you know what?
Louis, stop lying. Look at that man.
You're thriving. You're going to thrive this summer, Louis.
I would easily take Colin Hanks.
Look at the screen. Is that your man?
But also, the thing about White Boy Summer is, like, I'm terrified. What are y'all going to do? It sounds like an Ari Aster
Yeah.
film, but by the end of it, all the white boys are, like, I don't know, naked in a Bentley twerking on each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited. I support it.
I mean, there is a lot of room for White Boy Summer to be, abused by certain white men. I mean, I'm horrified of when, like, Ben Shapiro discovers what White Boy Summer is.
We need to not get him on that email
God.
chain. Yeah.
Right? I'm sure Caitlin Bennett's husband is excited about White Boy Summer.
Here's the thing. I think that the white boys that are allowed to celebrate this have to be vetted first by black women. That's the only rule that I think needs to
Yes.
exist. Send me your headshot. Send me any other photos that you would also like to include, and I will tell you if you're allowed to participate.
Because White Boy Summer also means it is a Black Queen Summer, which is all year round. But I'm sure you've seen, like, the cameo Chet made for, like, a Black Queen.
My black
favorite
queen.
thing.
Run it
my
up.
favorite
Run it
thing-
up.
My actual favorite thing about his videos is that I guess he lives on the west side of LA, and the videos are constantly just him walking around the Santa Monica Pier or
I'ma
like
find
Venice
him.
Beach making these videos. He's just in the wild.
I'm gonna
reporting
find that black
these.
man.
He's either on the Ferris wheel or getting his name printed on a grain of rice, which you can get at the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah.
And then shortly after getting a smoothie and a tribal tattoo.
I really think it's an invitation to step up the caliber of white men that you interact with, It's a White Boy Summer, but not for every white boy.
Okay.
I'm just
All right.
saying, if you see me with a white king, mind your business. Just keep on walking. That's all I have to say.
Well, I already have a white king.
Who's
Louis.
Lyra?
Louis.
That's right. I'm wearing a
Yeah.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf shirt. Surely I am royalty in this community.
Okay, enough of that.
We gotta get Chet on here to explain it.
We should have a correspondent, white boy correspondent, Summer. Okay,
Yes,
sorry.
I'm sure he needs a check. I'm sure Rita is tired of, doling out an allowance.
Okay, enough of this because I've never been this excited during a Keep It. I think our audience members are going to be like, she is electric for the first time in a long time. But Louis,
We're gonna get dragged.
Louis, what is your Keep It?
My keep it, it's twofold. First of all, a serious keep it. Arkansas just passed a bill to ban gender-affirming care for trans youth. Arkansas, what have you done for us lately? Because the last time I was proud of you was when you gave us Mary Steenburgen. I would settle for even your other native son, Wes Bentley, at this point. But at this point, the number of indignities, putting it so lightly, that the trans community continues to face is just absolutely disgusting. It is horrifying to read news like this. So I can't even wrap my mind around how cruel legislation like this is.
Especially from a fucking state that is just another state's name with R in front of it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like it's the pirate version of Kansas. R, Kansas.
Nice read.
Get it together.
And had the nerve to give us, it's their fault that we have Bill Clinton. And I have.
There's that. There's that.
gripes.
But my real keep it is mysteriously to Ariana Grande, who is now a coach on The Voice. Here's the thing. I think she's probably going to be good at this job, even though most of the time she'll be giving advice like, Can you murmur it like a baby a little more? Or whatever her fucking advice for singers is. I can't say I'm a fan of her as a vocalist.
I
can't
like
say
that. Do you want to join Team Ariana?
I just knew I had to press the button.
Right. So she's like, can you sound more like a Hollywood Boulevard Marilyn Monroe impersonation? Thank you. But also, can we just stop legitimizing the voice? Guys, I know this is like a very elementary gripe about the show. Give me 1 star. Just give me 1 star. I can't say winners of The Voice without sounding like I'm making fun of the show. Like, you know, Cassidy Pope, that's not a joke I made up. It's real.
The Voice is just a show where actual famous musicians just hang out, I guess, listen to some regular people sing, and then debut their own new songs and go about their day.
Right. And get free Starbucks? Like, that's part of the poll?
Right.
I don't
Nick
understand.
Jonas was on The Voice, and I guess it was just so he could go through his Spaceman release rollout, and now he's done.
Yeah.
And Ariana's here. I will actually say keep it to some of the responses I was already seeing. People being like, girl, you're like famous and have like #1 singles and stuff right now. Like you should not be slipping into this part of your career being on The Voice. But, you know, I think that like all that shit's out the window. You know, I think that the whole thing of like people being like, I'm too famous to do this sort of thing isn't really a thing that sort of exists. Also, like she's young and she's having fun. Let her do the fucking voice, you know?
Also, she can't tour right now. So, like,
Yeah,
however long
that's
the
the
show
other
is, a
thing,
few
too.
months, it's easy to do.
Yeah, and I'm shocked at her actually being willing to give us as much visibility of herself. I've never seen Ariana Grande dead on, first of all, and speaking for longer than like 10 seconds. So I just don't know how she's going to be able to judge and monologue. Not that she's not capable of it.
Listen, some of us watched Sam and Cat, so
That's on you.
Oh,
That's on you.
Yeah, Emmy Award winning. How could you not?
she did what she had to do.
Ira, what is your keep it this week?
My keep it goes to this TikTok girl, Addison Rae,
Oof.
who, first of all, I was kind of on board with Addison Rae because she dropped this song, her debut single, Obsessed. And the song itself is a bop, and I love the lyrics. It's a Leo anthem.
Okay.
You say you're obsessed with me, and I said me too. I'm obsessed with me, too. That's a line. Those are lyrics. But then it's the presentation. I saw the music video, and I don't know who taught this girl how to dance. I don't think anyone did. It's a lot of flailing. And it's weird that, like, Charlie XCX has been tweeting about how much she loves Addison Rae and, like, she's a pop star of the moment. And, you know, I can never tell if it's a performance with Charlie, if she actually likes this person and thinks they're talented, or if she's just along for the ride. But Charlie's a Leo too, so I get the chaos.
Right.
But that just reminds me of the fact that like a week ago I watched a Charlie XCX concert that she did on Bands in Town, and when she dances, you could tell when someone who's not like a dancer, right? In the sense of like they're not Megan Thee Stallion.
There's no
Beyonce,
boom cacks.
you know.
No boom cacks,
but
yes.
it's like, Charlie isn't even giving you Dua Lipa. You know, she's a person who like when the music takes her over, that's actual dancing. You're dancing because the music is, you're feeling it. And
Having
you have
fun.
to get your emotions out. You're having fun. On the flip side, Addison Rae is somehow less than Dua Lipa's intermediate dancing. And so this is sort of like, you're trying to give me like polished pop star dancing, but you don't have that in you. And then it just seems so rigid and mechanical that it doesn't seem like you enjoy dancing at all. You're just doing it because you have to do it, right? So that's the video. And my keep it then is to Addison Rae's appearance on the Jimmy Fallon show this past week, where she displays TikTok dances for him. It is so surreal and weird. And usually when the internet drags something, it is like a lot of anger for no reason. But this, I thought I was watching Black Mirror. Because it's first of all, the dances are to like Savage and like Cardi's Up, but Jimmy Fallon wasn't going to pay to play those songs while she dances to them. So like there's just some weird orchestration, like, you know, like royalty-free versions of these songs. So you don't even know what like she's actually dancing to. You're just seeing the names of the songs. She's not going full out. It's so weird. He's standing behind her holding signs with the song titles, bobbing his head. And I'm like, he must hate himself in this moment. And
I think he's lost all self-love years and years ago.
Of course.
Poor
I mean,
man.
you can't love yourself if your best friend's Justin Timberlake. But even worse is like she's displaying all these TikTok dances that were created by like black and brown kids on the internet, you know, on TikTok. And it really just felt like you were watching Bring It On. Mm-hmm. You know, you put this cute little white girl out there who is famous on TikTok and just has one single, and already she's getting an immense rollout of like a Jimmy Fallon appearance and also a whole segment devoted to her. But she's doing it by using dances that other people have done, and not the fact that they created the dances, but the fact that she can't even convincingly pull them off.
And she's giving us nothing.
Yeah. It's go girl, give us nothing. Love your lack of energy. There are side-by-sides of her dancing and other people dancing to them on TikTok, the creators. The difference is, well, Tina Turner and Anne Margaret.
Is what it is. And the outfit that she's wearing too, just no stylist. Like something right off an H&M mannequin. Like, I'm so sorry that I'm being so mean to this 20-year-old girl, but I need more from you. If you're going to be the face of the world.
Payola.
Yes.
Okay. I have never seen a more obvious person feel like they're an industry plant. Mm-hmm. It's like you're famous on TikTok and you got the one song. It's a cute song, but how about you drop a bunch of other cute songs and let people find out who Addison Rae is, right? The going from this one song is out to immediately, I'm on Fallon, I'm doing this. It seems like someone is really pushing hard for this. Someone is working real hard for what they're after. And it's not Addison, though, because she's not working hard.
I think it's a bit that would have worked if she could have committed to the seriousness of the dancing.
Yeah.
But as such, watching it, it just looks half-assed and like she's basking in the half-assedness, too. Mm-hmm. So it just didn't work on any level. It, unfortunately, is impossible to watch.
Yeah. She's casually doing it for her parents.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, yeah, this is the TikTok dance, and you're doing it for your parents at home while you're visiting them. You're not even going full out like you would be on TikTok to get actual people to watch it.
Right.
It's just so surreal. And yeah, not on board for it, Miss Rae. I do like the song, though.
Also, no, I do think more songs should be filled with pop lyrics that would all be Housewives taglines. Like that. That's a good songwriting goal. Charlie Puth, Ryan Tedder, keep this in mind.
Ryan Tedder, who always comments on Charlie Puth's Instagram, and somehow the comments are more thirstier than the ones I put.
I was going to say, you're at a 9.5 on thirst level there. Okay. So, yeah.
Right, but Ryan Tedder's will be like, damn, boy, you look ripped. Love to see you when you just get out the steam room.
Ryan Tedder just lurking outside the Equinox waiting.
God bless.
Anyway, that's my actual number one White Boy for White Boy Summer.
We better get that album. I'm so excited for it.
I'm very excited for it. So that's our episode. Shout out to everybody. I had fun. Naomi and Megan, thank you for being here. And White Boys, the summer is yours.
Whee!
But also mine and Aida's.
Damn it.
So it's your summer, but it's your summer in service of us.
I'm doing the math. Sure.
Pretend I'm Satan and let's start that lap dance. Chet Hanks. We'll see you next week. Keep It is a Crooked Media production. The show is produced by Caroline Reston, and Brian Semmel is our associate producer. Our executive producer is Ira Madison III. I think I've heard of him. Our editor is Bill Lance, and Kyle Seglin is our sound engineer. Thank you to our digital team, Matt DeGroot, Nar Melkonian, and Milo Kim for production support every week. Stay safe. Be blessed. God loves you.
Remember that last vacation you took? Or that last brunch you had with your friends, knowing that a once-in-a-century pandemic was about to hit us? You didn't see it coming. And that's just it. The COVID-19 pandemic showed us how a microscopic virus could upend our lives, and how unprepared our systems, our leaders, and our society were for it. There's so much more out there we need to understand. How new genetic discoveries could change our relationship with our own genes. How our addiction to social media changes our brains. How climate change could make the next major pandemic more likely. But for every threat, there are heroes out there working at the edges of science and policy to protect us. I'm Dr. Abdul El-Sayed, a physician, epidemiologist, and former Detroit Health Commissioner. And every week, I'm offering perspectives on these issues and more. And I'll talk to the doctors, scientists, culture makers, and policy leaders who are working out new ways to solve them. New episodes of America Dissected every Tuesday, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Is it just me, or do you sometimes wish the news were more...
fun?
Yes, cathartic.
Or just good?
I'm Erin Ryan, political commentator, comedy writer, and host of Crooked Media's Hysteria.
And I'm Alyssa Mastromonaco, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff for President Obama, and Erin's co-host. We cover everything from reproductive rights to shit we feel petty about, and break down the political news of the week, plus the stories that affect women's lives.
Listen to Hysteria wherever you listen to podcasts. New episodes drop every Thursday.